2 full review. And I know at the beginning I really hated the game and I didn't know if I actually will finish it, but anyways, we are here because yes, I did. Yes, we have first chapter, all missions, we have second chapter, all missions done, we have third, well yeah, the game is done, okay? So, and as you can see, bonus tasks, sometimes I fill them, complete them, sometimes they are so ridiculous, so stupid map, I just want to get out of it as fast as possible, so yeah, that's the case. Anyways, let's jump right to it, to the point where I will load game in the background because I will need to show you something, but meanwhile let me quickly show you and share you this little beauty. And this is, as always, for me, I'm following the same parameters for all the games, despite the fact sometimes some are more relevant for strategic games, for tactic games, for first-person shooters, whatever. So this is the case. You can see already right away the score. Score is 5.5, but I will quickly run through the points and just explain why and how my rating goes. So for the graphics, as you can see, this is the strongest suit for the game. The game graphics, at the first glance, it feels like, yeah, it can be better, we sing better in these days when graphics and everything and whatnot, but don't get fooled, don't get fooled. Details, basically everything in graphics is in zoomed in mode. So obviously, as you can see, I will quickly switch. Okay, I will read the graphics because I need to show you graphics and then you will understand why score is so high. So there are great graphics. Extra mile we can and should appreciate. I will show you that extra mile, and impressive textures, despite the fact that at first glance it looks a bit dull, but it's not that bad. And of course, grass and trees. That's the best part for graphics, for Transport Fever 2. And cons, there's unoptimized hardware. There's a lot of people actually having trouble to run it at smooth frame rates, and I'm not hitting any, you can see, but it's actually 73 frames per second for this quite still image we are looking at right now. And most of the details are missed, and I will show you also that. Let me just get rid of this screen a little bit. We will get back to that, but let me just quickly show you the graphics that I'm talking about. So you see, when you are zoomed in, oh shit, the game actually lags. So you see all the small details and everything, but I'm just quickly show you the trees, the grass. It's quite impressive. But the beauty I was talking about from points of details. You see we have a light, we have shadows, everything. That's not unnatural or something, but what gets interesting is, you see, I have a airport where I have 24 people waiting. If you zoom in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, basically all the people, you can see them waiting, and when the plane lands and delivers people, they will come more people out, and these will get in. And I just had one plane landed. It's not, well, you shouldn't do that, but anyways, you can find a way where those people, you see, those people are living inside. From outside you can see this is happening inside, but let me just quickly assure you. You see, let's follow that black dude with black hat. He disappeared, but at the bottom you see that's the same dude, you see, and he comes out of the airport. So it's incredible details where every person walks and waits and stands in the stations and being delivered and everything. Well, delivered, well, transported. And then you see this is the where it shines, where graphics shines, where this chimney is yeah, smoke is coming out, and on the building windows you can actually see reflections. This is the little details where what I'm talking about, where the game actually quite well excels. But there's a trade-off. What I mentioned already, unoptimized hardware. For example, yeah, these are my bosses. Currently, I'm here. I am hitting 47 frames per second. It's maxed out graphics basically. And the thing is, why I'm not giving more than 8 points to graphics, despite the fact you see this quite nice texture. It's not flat. It's well, this seems a little bit flat, but anyways. The thing is, I will give you this. I'm checking right now, looking at Task Manager, and my graphics card is working on 62%. So this is the unoptimized thing going on. I have only 47 frames per second, so below 60. There's actually, I think, not capped. It should go to 144. But in the same time, I'm not hitting any hardware limitations at the point. CPU is working 38%, memory is 10 gigabytes, and graphics card is only 60. Yeah, flat 60%. So why can't you, I don't know, I need a little bit more frames. If I'm start moving, I'm getting 35, 40 frames per second, right? It's not something I would be so proud of. And the last point, quickly, I will move on faster with other points, but about most of details missing. Remember, this is the transportation game. Let me quickly show you this is the sandbox. Yeah, you see, that is not even visible, and at this scale, this level, actually the ocean looks like the same pattern copied over the place. You can't see people here, you can't, and the most of your building and everything and setting those big trade roads and everything will be at high level. So all those details actually pop up when you do really zoom in. When you zoom in, you can't play the game. So it's a trick that graphics is nice, but only if you zoom in. But when you zoom in, then it's not strategy game anymore. That's just you simulator of life, and it has bad frames per second. And if you zoom out, let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, 56 frames per second. Yeah, we achieved. Can we have 60? Yes, 60 frames per second. Yes, this is the level approximately where you operate. So you see, there's not so much detail. So that's why the game is awesome when you zoom in, but that's not how you play it. You get the point. 8, I think, and from me is quite high rating. Imagine, it's out of 10. It's good. It's good. The graphics are the strongest suit for the game. All right, let's just quickly run through the rest of it. In the background, you can hear the music itself. For the music, there's a good themed music per mission and time, meaning through the chapters 1, 2, 3, each mission are given some specific area, like Asia or Europe or America or whatnot, and the music is different in each. When you're stuck in some mission, well, you play it. There's one kind of music, and when you travel aboard and have something else, there's different kind of music, which is kind of nice attached to the music, but there's a problem. Why? Oh yeah, sorry, I will put back my little screen, so in the back end there will be still the same game. So the music loop is small. When you are stuck, let's take the moment when you are stuck in one mission, the game gets quite repetitive because it's not playing other type of music it plays that one genre. And there was this really popsy Asian mission which was quite long, and then this music gets on nerves because it doesn't change, it goes kind of in the same, yeah, it gets repetitive quite fast. So nice touch, but yeah, still some smoothing or more variety needed, or I don't know. Anyways, 6.5 only because, yeah, gets on the nerves quite fast. Then point cinematics. We have cinematics, very nice in-game clips. Those clips you can see whenever you start a mission. When you start a mission, there's small, yeah, I call them clips then, basically. And they are in-game captures, which are always welcome, especially when the graphics in the game is nice. For example, there might be some map starting when you start off, and then, I don't know, go over a bridge. Okay, I can't finish that anyways. So it's cool, and it captures the real graphic beauty, because there are a lot of zoom ins and gives you the feeling of what mission, what type of game you have there. But in the same time, there are small little clips, nothing breathtaking, nothing immersive. It's just small glance of the game where you, when controls are given to you, you can check yourself. So it's nothing that great, I'd say. 6 points, rating 6 for cinematics. Let's move on to the some bad, how to call them, ratings. So the story. I don't want to be mean, but obviously this transportation game, it goes from the carriers being pulled by horses to bullet trains going a few hundred kilometers per hour. So right, the whole game, obviously the missions are split, and once you go through, you have that feeling like in the previous mission you have horses. Now this mission I have my first steam machine, which is super slow and uncomfortable and whatnot. So it gives that evolution feeling, and that's basically the closest to the story you can get, because the missions themselves are ridiculous, empty. Nothing gives you the sense of story. That's why the cons, for the mission is empty, shallow quests. Pick rock, deliver rock. After rock is delivered, get brick, deliver. I can't explain enough how frustrating this story is. And I will not even mention this side quests, which are absolutely dumb. There are many times where the quest is giving you kind of one line: seek for future, let's say, and then it's up to you to find if that's some stupid question mark you just need to click around the map, is some stupid hole you need to dig somewhere, or some actually tied with transportation to deliver some side quest, like not only bring a rock from point A to point B, but also take passenger from point C to point D. Oh yeah, those are the side missions. Those are the bonuses they're given. Sometimes they're really stupid and I purely ignored them. Sometimes they automatically were filled because I was doing extra mile when on a mission. The story, the strongest I can find is the evolution of transportation, which is nice because you start off with horses and end up with planes. Let's go planes. Okay, pacing. This is also something interesting. Game tries to be realistic in terms of the years when something is. I appreciate it when the trains were discovered and evolved. You can't have planes in, I don't know, when there was no planes. Let's put it this way. So this pacing of whole era is kind of natural. It feels natural when game, the houses and everything develops. The cars appear on the road, then you can have nice cars. Like it's nice. That's the best of pacing itself. The evolution pacing, let's say. But the actual pacing in the game, it's literally I can show you. Of course I can show you. You see, this is the car. It drives in the city. Let's take. It is currently May 12th. And car reaches second intersection. So basically travel one block. Oh, it took 3 days. You see, I know it's a strategy game and you can't have both, but I don't know. So there's the thing, the game pace in terms of evolution seems fine, but once it comes to actual traveling, and the game kind of tries to be realistic, because there are, I think, planks, those are metric tons or something like that, like, and car can only take 17 at the beginning when there's a small, there are smaller, like, I know it tries to be, you can't, you will not play in real time the years when the evolution kicks in, but in the same time, what I'm trying to explain and mention is what I'm mentioning also on my notes is, I will bring back my notes, is there are no point of two speeds. The game is, I'm covering, but basically there are normal, then double, and I think the triple. Yeah, no, double, and then 4 times the speed. There's no absolutely point to run the game in normal or in double speed. It's basically all the time full speed. Worst case scenario, you pause. Whenever you pause, you can build everything and then unpause. But it's just, I don't know, the pacing feels kinda, I don't know. Just saying, just unneeded 2 speeds that are pointless. Just wait. The game already is quite long to go through with everything, but okay. 6 point, the pace itself, it's just 6. Content, for the content, overall campaigns, so that's the thing, when I started the campaigns, the first chapter is just nightmare. It's just child-proof, click here, and congratulations, you clicked on those 3 points we directly pointed you to click. Basically everything else was locked. Good job. The whole chapter, it doesn't get better. It's just the content, and I felt like I will never ever play this stupid game again, but obviously, well, I needed something to play while Phoenix Point gets hard and it's really pressured, and I need something to mix in, so I played it. Okay, and I finished it. So the content for the campaigns, it takes some time. All the chapters, all the missions, if I count together how much time is spent just on missions themselves, it's it lands in quite some, let's say, impressive. It wasn't quick, it wasn't fast, it was during some time it took me to finish it. So, and addition to the campaigns, I will just explain, there is map generator. So basically you can generate a map and then play it. Why it is important to mention is some other games, I will just mention top of my head, Foundation, where you basically all the game is sandbox, but there are 5 maps, exact same map every single time, which can get boring. And here you have a generator where you can pick difficulty, you can pick year, you can generate a map random, so it gives extra. Basically this map, I will zooming out, I'm showing behind it, it is generated, and I try to get mountains and everything, so it's not super easy, and it's not hard difficulty, it's not easy, it's medium anyways. So it is, the content itself is quite enough for you to play around if you enjoy whatever it delivers. And cons for content is yeah, once you finish basically campaign, which is the challenging part, and I'd say one sandbox through all the time, which I'm currently doing, finishing off, there's nothing more to do. There's absolutely nothing. There's no point of returning, there's no point of extra, there's no point of, oh, but what about this? There is no what about. It's all the same all the time. Once you've finished, you just, I don't know. I think it could be better, it could be more, it could be, I don't know what I'm expecting, but yeah, 6 out of 10. Better than average, better than middle. That's the best I can do for the game. For the game depth, game allows to go in micromanagement and deliver and city growth. Let me quickly show you the only thing which I can call a micromanagement would be when you set up the road and you go into the road. Okay, it's manage vehicle. I don't want to manage vehicle. I want to manage a road. And then there's an options, right? You can change the loading station. You can change the loading station. You can change full load or just wait some time. And then is the smallest detail is what to load, what to unload. It is needed actually to have this additional thing I mentioned is deliver to deliver. So this game quite emphasizes on the part where let me try to show you. Well, I actually try to avoid it as much as possible, but it gives you this requires, for example, you take a ship, you deliver to another docks, unload, where's nothing, in middle of nowhere, and then the package, well, or whatever the goods there are delivered further with cars, because there's some, I don't know, distance to the city and you don't want to dig a canal or something like that. And there, when you build a quite, it's not complicated, but once you build so much road over road and overlapping, the cars can start bringing the goods you were never intended to good, because the game automatically picks up if there is a good transported from A to B and there is a car or train going from B to C and from C to D, from D to F, and at F point that first good is needed, then potentially there might be start loading something you were never intentionally. So that's where this micromanagement kicks in, and you can actually restrict and just say no. Because I'll just explain, these cars, they are universal. This exactly. It can bring any cargo. So if any other cargo at other side will be available that is needed here, it will bring back automatically without asking. Then you can start micromanagement. But don't jump right on right on hype train. There is a where I mentioned city growth is another basically the only awesome point about the game, kind of depth, where you start with city which is quite small, and then if you provide enough things, it grows. Simple as that. Quite. Let me bring it here. I think enough said. So that's kind of nice depth that you can grow the city. But then again, if you look closely, the same when you are micromanaging and delivering. Let's say use one train to deliver more goods and then bring back more goods and whatnot, and if the same goods are going in the same wagons, you can't, there is no precise tool to describe pick 10 tons of this and 10 tons of that good. It's game doesn't allow that. There is no option to do that, which makes it really obsolete for this super complicated micromanagement. There is some parts that you can really manage, and some parts are just the train will pick whatever it likes. And for example, you can't as I showed, restrict to load something, but it's quite opposite. When you want the train to pick 10 tons of coal and 10 tons of iron ore, so it brings back and it will be casted into 10 iron in 10 steel. There is no both of those goods go in the same wagons. So if there will be 20, the train will pick up 20 coal, and there's no room left for iron ore. You get the idea. If you have played, you will acknowledge. And the thing is, why I mentioned this is, I think in absolutely every other transport game, it's kind of basics, right? That you can not only mention like load or full load or unload, but also how much, right? This kind of logical thing, how much. Everyone, when you go in shop and do any purchase, any deliver, anything, everyone asks how much. It's like the first thing first rule of logistics. Now these games, we don't do that here. That's why it's really frustrating. The game can give you some silly micromanagement things, and the other way, like, no, you will not choose how much you want to deliver. And that leads to the point where, because of the lacking some micromanagement things, the game can actually be played in children's mode. That's why I mentioned this is how I call it, because it actually can be place 2 stations, create a road by clicking 2 entry points, buy a car, assign a car. That's it. That's absolutely it. It's just children's play. At this point, I'm actually questioning if this game actually can be played by someone who can't read. It's not necessary. You need to see the same icon. I will. As funny as it sounds, I will quickly still show you. This just came up in my head. You see the icon. There is a brown thing. You don't even need to know what log is. And then you see there is a brown thing made into lighter brown thing. It's exactly as that. You don't need to, and by cars is the simplest. Trains are a bit complicated, but for cars, yeah, you see this part, yeah, you place it, you make a trade road and buy cars, and that's it. They will do themselves everything. It's children's play. So yeah, that's about the depth. I would suggest actually children to play it. They will get smarter by playing smart games. Anyways, let's move on. We have controls. Oh my god, yes. And the more I look at it, the more I want to give even less. There's not absolutely a single good awesome thing to mention. It's normal, so nothing super excited, but actually I wrote a full sentence, but I needed more things to get in this one little box, so I will read out the sentence what wasn't originally there. Anyone who brings in game inverted camera controls and does not allow you to change that in options deserve to burn in hell. And this is the thing. These camera controls, they called in gaming industry, they are called inverted. They don't work as normally they should. They work opposite, and you can't change it. It's you stuck with that. That was the first thing that killed everything. I was like, who decided it is a good idea to? Then give me an option in settings to change. All right? Nope, not in this time. Next thing I'm mentioning is camera stuck. It's often when you need to manage things, right? You will be moving around. When you move and click somewhere, and it's way often than I can stress for you, the camera movement will stuck. I will not try to. I could try, but once you do the management or you picked on trade road and you need to configure or whatever you do, you will constantly find yourself when you press nothing and the game it picks up one movement, and to unstuck you need to actually click on the same direction, not any other button. Then it will anyways, the camera movement is a nightmare. All right. Third point, rotation. I will use my little box above me and I will just... Everyone is familiar who plays this game. Let's pick something smaller. I will zoom in. The graphics are nice. And then I find something. And then rotation goes by button N and M. Most stupid ever. Whoever uses those buttons. It was frustrating from Transport Fever 1, but not only that. Okay, no, sorry. I need to bring back screen to show you. There will, you see, those rotations never ever will be 90 degrees. You see, it's I don't know how and who made those rotations, but they go in chunks, and they, you see, not quite, not, it's also not 90 degrees. It's not. So whoever decided this rotation is awesome also deserves to burn in hell right next to the guy who made inverted camera controls. And, okay, and I will show you. Awesome tip for you. If you press shift button, you see the changes, then you can click the actual building button and then fine tune it. And then build it. How cool is that? So basically, if you have any slightless will of making things beautiful, as most of gamers playing strategic games are, you will constantly be, and you see, I just picked up, nope, it doesn't save the position, nothing. You will every single time fine tuning or just say fuck it and build things like this. Yes, you have to live with this. Anyways, it's just, I don't know how the hell every other single game when it comes to building can do things like, I don't know, press right mouse button or with scroll. I don't know why scroll. This is just it's so bad. And the last thing, there are 4 things for camera controls. It is, let's say, there's a nice little feature other games have and this game doesn't, is whenever you are zoomed in this way. Oh, actually no, alright, I will take my word away from this. It is also here. It felt like, yeah, just need camera controls. So when you are in zoom in mode, you see, I will just explain. Okay, this is the one plus. Okay, I will fix it right away. When you are zoomed in, you move at 1 speed. When you start zooming out, you see, when you go in high plane, then and once you land again, there's a like good sense of, so once you are out, you can move fast because obviously you are on high scale, you want to move over everything. Once you zoomed in, okay, sorry, somehow silly Morris missed it, because it feels like when you are on high level you are actually moving super slow, but no, stupid Morris, it's just because you are frustrated with the game. Fine, 4 it is, because actually there is constant camera not constant. You get that, I hope you get it. This is nice, this is the only nice thing about controls and camera in the game, okay? Gameplay, strategic decisions and tactics pay off. Strategic decisions, I don't want to take it off again, but I will explain quickly, is whenever you take a log, bring to make a planks, then planks deliver to some factory and make them into goods, how they are called? Tools, into tools, and then tools are being delivered to the city. Once you close, and the thing is, the game is really emphasizes on supply and demand. So you need to fulfill demand to get more outcome supplies, and basically whenever you have closed the circle, the goods are basically at consumers' hands, it will come back in the same chain and tune up the production for every part of the chain. So this is something nice. This is something for the gameplay itself, for traffic, for logistics. It is a long-term play. It's you can just take logs and every log and deliver to sawmill in the whole map. It's also an option. It's a short term because it's easy to just find them and make those logistics, but it will not improve immensely. Let's say higher benefit will be if you have a long gameplay in your head, then it pays off. It really pays off. Maybe you can see and understand how it pays off, because I'm literally earning 30 millions all the time, and I will have billion in a moment. Anyways, yeah. So that leads to the gameplay where whenever you start in any mission, okay, chapters, there's something else, but I'm speaking about good old sandbox mode. And I'll just show you this. This was my beginning. I started with logs being delivered here, and then from sawmill, train takes them to this tools factory, and from tools factory you see the city needs tools. So complete chain. Once I build it and put in motion, it was like all my money is gone. Loan is I can't take any more loan, and I am making 300,000 a year. It seems a lot, but well, at that point my next train I needed to add to this my chain costed 1.6 millions. So 5 years you just sit there and wait. It's absolutely ridiculous slow start, and it's just medium. On hard it would be, I would earn bucks for something, right? So then I could purchase next train, then I have a little bit increase revenue, then I can purchase next train a little bit sooner, and then in a moment, and there's one click where boom, I'm making so freaking much money, I have no idea how to spend it. I will give you a quick idea how to spend it. You take, so here is you see there's a grain I'm not delivering. Zoom in to build. Game will be a little bit lagging, and there's a food processing plant. You see, and I'll just make super expensive 61 million. It's just I'm making. So you see, at one particular point, the game just gets useless. There's money doesn't mean anything. You just build as crazy. I can do whatever. Obviously, I will put the train here. He will bring me more money, and yeah, it really feels stupid because of the really slow start, and somewhere in the early mid, money doesn't matter anymore. It's just constant flow, and it just makes it, I don't know, it feels the gameplay itself. That's why I mentioned specifically here extra slow start, like extra slow, but pointless end. It's just, yeah, there's nothing that keeps me to play this game. It's just boring at this point. I feel like I have a cheat code with unlimited money. I don't know, it shouldn't feel like that. Okay, and the last point is experience. And experience is challenging missions gives satisfaction. There are, I think, 2 challenging missions out of all 60, 80 chapters and missions. I think 2 of them were where money was draining all the time because there was a pre-built everything set of trains and everything. It was kind of stressful. All other missions and everything. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention 5 for gameplay and 5 for experience, because endless pools of money. And I'm mentioning not only one pool but many pools. It's like every mission in chapters are giving you insane amount of money. absolutely not a single mission you would ever need so much money. So whenever you do the missions and the chapters, the money plays not a single fucking role. I think actually in one mission where you have everything pre-built and you have huge expenses. In that mission you start with 1 billion, I think, but it drains quite fast, so you need to finish that chapter before you run out of the money, basically. But all other chapters, there's just insane amount of money. Whatever you do, I don't know how you can ever spend it, and especially when you build something, you start earning. Like, that's why this experience is just, from all chapters, all missions, it's just like, why do you make a mission where it feels like it's just cheat code with money? And if the money would be less, then the other thing would kick in, why the game pace is so slow at the beginning. So you see, they kind of eliminated that feeling where everyone would be frustrated why the game is so slow and boring, by just giving all the money right away, which is not how you do strategy games. It's just, it feels like you can open up train evolution or car evolution in YouTube and watch those videos. There will be better graphics, the same experience, the same toughness of how this game is tough to play, and same set of skills are required. I don't want to be mean, but that's kind of true. Otherwise, to turn such videos in game, it's what they did. So yeah, the final score, I improved the controls. So now we have this 5.6. Transport Fever 2 full review, pros and cons, you see all the numbers. I will mention one thing, but what my friend also just threw it out. I like trains. If you like trains, that's the only case where you will not play in full speed. You will open up your train, click this awesome button, actually escape, and just enjoy your train. And you see it, and the graphics is nice, you see the smoke and everything and the landscape. Then you jump in and you can see this is nice, this is beautiful. And yet again, trust me, if you go on YouTube and type down this particular train, oh, another train is coming in front, ooh, nice. Yeah, you see? And cars are stopping and all that. If you go in YouTube and type this precise locomotive and number and everything, most likely you will find 4K video with explanation and all the data and everything, and also you can see how that train actually runs in real life. Why you need this for that? So yeah, video is again super long as always, but this is the full review. You don't need any other review ever for this game if you've seen this. Now you know everything. Yes, I built so ridiculous. They are crossing. Yes, railroads are crossing. That's not allowed in real life, but in the game it's allowed. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. This was Morris and super long, but full because this game is, for me, it's finished. I hope for you, you can pick up what you liked, what you don't like. And yeah, now you know more about Transport Fever 2, full review. I think the game actually saves, but anyways. Yeah, thanks for watching. As always, Morris here with more games and everything. And yeah, I will go back to Phoenix Point. I just needed something else to play. Otherwise, just Phoenix Point gets in my head. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Cheers. We'll meet in next videos.